Hey guys, it's Miss Scruggs. I hope y'all are doing awesome and having a good day. I wanted to get on here and read y'all a book about life cycles. This is a kind of long book, but it's got a ton of super cool information about all the life cycles of everything. So let's get into it. Alright, the circle of life. All living things pass through a life cycle. Trees, insects, animals, and even you grow and change. At first, all cycles may seem the same. Living things are born, they grow, reproduce, and die. But take a closer look and you'll see that each kind of life cycle is a little different. Both butterflies and dogs have life cycles, but they are not the same. A butterfly begins life as an egg that hatches. A dog is born live from its mother. They grow up in different ways too. Throughout nature, the pattern repeats. Grow, change, thrive, reproduce. These same events happen again and again. The end of the life cycle leads back to the beginning. A new generation is created. This is the circle of life. Okay, there's the picture, and then we're going to read this little text box right here. It says cycles and spans. A life cycle is a set of changes or stages. A lifespan is how long the animal or plant lives. The final stage for all life cycles is death. Okay, there's the pictures. A cycle for every life. Some creatures must travel through just one or two short stages of life before becoming an adult. Others must transform several times. For every creature, the journey leads to a new generation, and the cycle begins again. Okay, we're going to read this text box right here. Mysterious metamorphosis. What happens inside the cocoon? For hundreds of years, this was a mystery. Now, scientists know that caterpillars dissolve. Their muscles and bones break down into a kind of goo. Then they build new bodies. The most amazing part. Scientists have proven that moths can remember things that happened when they were caterpillars before they were goo. Isn't that neat? Okay, and this is a picture of a silkworm cocoon. Cocoons come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Some look like candies, others look like twigs or leaves, some even look like gold. Moth magic. As they grow, insects change form. Some think this change is magical, but it is a natural process called metamorphosis. Many insects, like moths, have 4 stages in their life cycle. First, adult moths lay eggs on plants. An egg hatches and a larva is born. The moth larva is called a caterpillar. A caterpillar eats everything it can. Then it finds a safe place to hide, perhaps under a leaf. It wraps itself in a soft shell called a cocoon. This is the pupa stage for a moth. Inside the cocoon, a moth changes. A few weeks later, an adult moth breaks out of the cocoon. Once the adult lays eggs, the cycle will repeat. So this graph right here shows us the many life cycles. So first, you have eggs, then you have a caterpillar, then you have the pupa, and then you have the adult moth. Slippery salamanders. Amphibians are animals that can live underwater and on land. Salamanders are a type of amphibian. Some live on land and some live in water. Most salamanders lay eggs in water or on the wet ground. When eggs hatch, the tadpole stage begins. These tadpoles look like tiny adults. They use their tails to help them swim. Their gills help them breathe underwater. Salamanders that live on land go through complete metamorphosis. Their fins and gills disappear. They grow lungs and legs. But some caterpillar or salamanders are different. The ones known as mud puppies grow lungs. But they also keep their fins and gills so that they can keep living in water. Their life cycles can span a few months or 5 years. Okay, and this shows you the life cycle. So, eggs, larva, and adult. The Mexican axolotl's gills look like feathers floating around its head. Okay, you can see them right there. Looks like feathers all around. But that's its gills. Another amphibian, caecilians are amphibians too. Caecilians look like mini snakes. They have sharp teeth and a bony head that buries in the ground. Some are small, but they can grow to be 5 feet long. That's really big. Traveling salmon. On the floor of a stream or river, a salmon lays eggs in a nest. In early spring, alevins hatch from the eggs. Alevins are just 1 inch long, about 6 weeks. After about 6 weeks, they grow fins, teeth, and scales and leave the nest as fry. Some fry turn into parr and develop dark oval marks on their bodies to help camouflage them. Fry and parr leave fresh water for salt water. They are now smolts and live like tiny salmon. The currents take smolts to the ocean. Once they arrive in salt water, they become adults. Salmon stay in the ocean for 1 to 7 years. Then they swim back to where they were born to spawn. Okay, and this text box says a sack lunch. Eggs provide many animals with their first meals. They contain everything animals need to grow. Salmon fry eat what's left on their eggs before they swim to the ocean. And here shows you the life cycle of salmon. So they start out as eggs, then they go to salivin, then fry, then parr, then smolt, then adult, and then there is a spawner. Adult salmon travel thousands of miles to return to their nest and lay their eggs. They fight powerful currents and never stop to eat. Odd octopuses. Octopuses begin as eggs. After a male octopus mates with a female, he dies. The female ties the eggs together and hangs them from her den. The female spends all her time guarding her eggs. When they finally hatch, she is so weak that she dies. At first, baby octopuses are only as big as a grain of rice. These newborns are called parlarvae. They swim to the top of the ocean to find food. Whales and other fish eat many of them. After a few weeks, the parlarvae swim to the ocean floor. There, they grow fast. Predators eat many of them. Those who survive grow into adults. Adults lay eggs, and the cycle repeats. Then this text box said hide and seek. Adult octopuses protect themselves by blending in. They use their muscles and skin to blend in with rocks. They can also shoot dark ink to hide themselves. This says a mother octopus's den is also called her garden. And this shows you the life cycle of an octopus. So there you have the eggs, then the parlarva, and then the octopus. Oops. Eagles take flight. Baby eagles develop and grow inside eggs. The yolk in the egg provides food the baby needs. Once the food is gone, the eagle pecks its way out of the egg. An egg tooth on the tip of its beak helps it break open the egg. The hatchling depends on its parents for food. In just a few days, it becomes a nestling because it stays in the nest. At first, fluffy down feathers keep it warm, but real feathers grow within weeks. At 2 months old, it is called a fledgling. Soon after, this young bird becomes a juvenile eagle. The juvenile learns how to hunt from the adults. In about 5 years, it is an adult and is ready to mate. An eagle nestling can gain half a kilogram, which is 1 pound, of weight every week. Okay? And then this shows you the life cycle. So it starts out as an egg, then it becomes a hatchling, then a nestling, then a fledgling, then a juvenile, and then an adult. So then an eagle can live up to 30 years. Then this text box right here says a partner for life. Adult eagles find a mate and stay with that mate until death. Not all birds do this, but swans and turtle doves are a few that do. Slithering snakes. Most snakes begin their life cycle in eggs. After a few weeks, the snake uses its egg tooth to break out of the shell. The hatchling might not leave the egg right away. It can spend hours or days feeding off any leftover yolk. In no time, the hatchling grows into a juvenile snake. During this stage, it learns to hunt for food. As it grows, it molts or sheds its skin. Finally, the snake reaches the stage of an adult. Then it is ready to lay eggs so the cycle can start again. There are some snakes that give birth to live young. These include rattlesnakes, boa constrictors, and adder snakes. So other snakes carry their eggs inside their bodies. The babies hatch from the eggs inside the mother. Okay, and then this life cycle, it shows you eggs, then a hatchling, then it shows you the snakes molt as they grow. And then when they become a juvenile, and then snakes continue to molt, and then an adult. So eggs aren't hard like chicken eggs, they are soft like leather. And the text box says, moving right along. Once outside the shell, hatchlings are hungry, so they quickly slither away. If they hang around, another hatchling might eat them. Building a beaver. What do beavers, elephants, and people have in common? They are all mammals. Mammals go through a life cycle too. First, the egg stage happens inside the mother. Then, a live baby is born. For beavers, this happens in the spring. After birth, mammal life cycle stages can have different names. For example, baby beavers are called kids. At 1 year old, they are yearlings. They live with their parents and new kits in the lodge. They do this for safety. At 2 years old, beavers are juveniles. This is when they leave the beaver lodge and look for a mate. By winter, they are adults and start their own families, and the cycle starts again. Mammals make milk. Mammals are known for the way females care for their young. Mothers feed their young fresh milk. Most mammals are also covered with hair. They can live in a wide variety of places. Beavers build lodges with branches and mud. Some can only be entered by traveling underwater. Yearlings help their parents with new kits. They gather food for them, help groom them, and spend time playing with them. And this shows you the life cycle of a beaver. First they're kits, then they're yearlings, then juveniles, and then adults. Life as an elephant. An elephant is another type of mammal. Its life cycle has 3 main stages. First, a mother carries a baby inside her. After 22 months, the calf is born. The mother teaches the baby how to live, eat, and clean up. By 10 years old, the calf is weaned. This means it no longer drinks its mother's milk. Then it becomes an adolescent until age 17. The boys, known as bulls, hang out in groups, but the girls tend to stay close to their moms. By age 18, an elephant is an adult. Adults look for mates, and the cycle starts over. Elephants can live up to 70 years. Baby basics. An elephant only has about 4 babies in a lifetime. They can have twins, but that is very rare. Okay. Then inside the womb, young mammals develop inside the mother's womb. When an embryo is first created, it can be hard to tell what kind of animal it is. Every animal starts out as a tiny blob, but after about 4 months, it becomes clear that this is a very small elephant. You can see the picture right there of it, of the unborn elephant. Okay. Then right before a baby is born, the mother elephant chooses an ant to help care for the baby. This shows you the life cycle. So here is the calf, the adolescent, and the adult elephants. The human life cycle. Oh, this is about us. You, like every human, will grow in stages. For 9 months, you grow inside your mother. Then you are born. Childhood is the time from birth to adolescence. As an infant, you depend on your mother. You grow into a toddler and learn to walk. Then, you learn how to play. Your body is still growing. Your mind is growing too. At 13 years old, you will be an adolescent or a teen. Like an elephant, this is when you will become more independent from your parents. But most people live with their parents until they are at least 18. Becoming an adult takes time. People don't wake up and realize they became adults overnight. Being an adult is more than how old you are. It's about making smart choices and taking care of yourself. That is when you truly become an adult. This text box right here says how to live to 100. If you want to be a centenarian or someone who lives to 100 or older, try these tips. They are all linked to living a long time. Eat healthy food. Exercise daily. Brush your teeth twice a day. Spend time in nature. Get plenty of sleep, laugh a lot, and be kind to yourself and others. Growing old. There is no age that is considered old by all people. If you are 9 years old, 70 years old may seem very old. But if you are 90 years old, 70 years old may seem young. People are finding ways to live longer and longer, and they are finding ways to be healthier and happier in old age. From seeds to trees. Even plants have life cycles. For a tree, this begins at germination. This is when a seed begins to grow. A seed becomes a seedling when a root and stem grow from it. In time, the stem grows larger, leaves form, and it turns into a sapling, or a very young tree. Branches develop and more leaves grow. This can take years, but finally, the plant grows into a mature tree. Mature trees make seeds that drop to the ground. These form new trees. A flower begins with germination too. At this stage, a seed sprouts leaves. They are the first leaves that emerge from the soil. These leaves store food for the seedling. Then a bud forms as a seedling grows. It opens slowly. Finally, the flower is mature and can make seeds for new flowering plants. Okay, and then this text box says it's cold in here. Seeds have special coats around them. The coat protects the seed from extreme temperature, injury, and bugs. Okay, and then this text box over here about a squirrel says, don't forget, animals such as squirrels help plant seeds. They gather and bury them. Later, they return to eat some of them, but some seeds can get left behind or are forgotten. These forgotten seeds grow into new plants. And then along the bottom of this page, you can see the life cycle of a seed. How it starts out here and then grows into a plant. A vital connection. All living things grow and change. In time, they die. This is true for all creatures, but during those stages, life takes beautiful and surprising turns. Young plants and animals are born every day. Some life cycles are short and dramatic. A fruit fly might only live 24 hours. Other life cycles are longer than we can possibly imagine. Some trees live thousands of years. But each cycle includes exactly the stages each creature needs to survive and thrive in this world. And this says, how long do animals live? So let's look and see how long all these animals live. So a fox can live about 5 years. An owl can live about 10 years. A woodpecker lives about 15 years. An ostrich lives about 35 years. A carp, which is a fish, lives about 45 years. A condor, which is a type of bird, lives about 60 years. Then an elephant can live up to 70 years. A whale can live up to 80. And then a giant tortoise can live to be 150 years old. And that is the end. So I hope you enjoyed learning about life cycles. This told you about so many different things and all the life cycles that they have. So I hope you enjoyed learning about that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!